So on Saturday morning, Aaron and I were riding our bikes over to Patterson Park. Our buddy Woody was hosting the first cyclocross race in Akron, Ohio, in as long as I know about. Before you click away and say I don't care about racing, let me explain to you why I think cyclocross races are so fun to attend and why they're so good for the bicycle community in general. For those that don't know, cyclocross is characterized by a series of short laps, usually on grass, but there could be dirt and forest roads as well. You do a number of laps, and there's usually obstacles that make you have to dismount your bike, hop over some barriers, or it's just the steep, punchy climbs that not everyone can get up, and tight turns and all that kind of thing. You do one lap, and then they basically, depending on the category, time that and decide how many laps the race is going to be overall. So at the high level, it's going to be about an hour, down to about a half an hour for some of the more beginner levels. There's categories. I don't really understand how everything works, but category 4 and 5 are the lowest, and then 1 is obviously the highest, and depending on how many people turn out is how many races there'll be, and they divide them into. There's also a single speed race, and then in local races, they tend to do a lot more fun things, like have maybe a fat bike race, or even the single speed race will have, people in costumes and people joking around. So there's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of seriousness. It's a total mix. I think that's why it's similar to gravel racing, where the people at the front are all in, trying to win. The people in different races in cyclocross are towards the back, and the more open categories are just there to try it out and have a good time and do something different. And even if you didn't want to jump into one of the competitive or even more open categories because just the other riders around you makes you a little more nervous and you've never done it, there are usually practice laps between the different races, or you can show up early and do some practice laps. Ben and I actually stopped by on the night before and rode the course after dark, as they had set it up a day in advance. So even at the highest level of the sport, which is regulated by the UCI and everything, cyclocross is a fun spectator sport in person just because it is a lap sport. You could get to different spots on the course and move around throughout the day, and it's just very easy and fun to watch. Watch the starts, watch the finish, and all that. But I wanted to speak to why the local races are so much more than just that. And to be clear, I've only attended the Northeast Ohio Cyclocross Series races, but from the people in the shops I follow on Instagram and other cyclists, it seems to be the gist that local races are a little more like what I'm going to talk about here. So people started rolling in from all over on their bikes or in their cars, depending on where they were coming from. Joy Machines up in Cleveland actually organized a bike ride all the way down to Akron for the event. Dirty River took their normal Yeti ride and brought it out to the event as well. So even if you weren't going to race, it made a way to get a bike ride in and come out and see what was going on. Akron Coffee Roasters brought coffee and was pouring coffee for everyone. Someone from Chagrin Falls, whose name I forgot, brought down more donuts than I've ever seen. So there was donuts for everybody. Our buddy Tony, who goes by Brainwreck, was DJing, so there was music and vibes. So the infield, if you will, has just kind of a party atmosphere and a hangout vibe going on. I've been to other local races where there's free pizza. If it's later in the season and the park allows it, there's bonfires and things like that. Local businesses donated items and prizes for the race. Our buddy Mike, who's a metal sculpturist, made the trophies, which were swords that had bike parts and bike components to put them together. So just a really cool, fun vibe, community feeling. A lot of the day is hanging out with people and having conversations about bikes. My buddy Ryan and Brian, we were talking about Bromptons because he travels a lot, and just that kind of stuff that goes with hanging out with other bike people, whether you're one of the very serious lycra-wearing riders or you're just someone who rode out with one of the bike shops to have a good day and hang out. Dirty River really brought the party, so there was a beer hand-up section that they formed, and they formed at a lot of local cyclocross races, so maybe the riders who are a little less serious could swing by and get a beer hand-up. Even some of the serious ones take them. It just makes for a goofy, fun experience. I will link Northeast Ohio Cyclocross's website below. This series, each race is hosted by clubs or bike shops or individuals, so volunteers make it happen, setting up the courses, taking down the courses, and like I mentioned, just bringing the vibes and the fun. People always comment on my videos and say stuff like, I wish I had bike friends like yours. I wish we had a bicycling community like yours. Those things don't materialize out of nowhere. People make it happen. Friendships take work. Community takes work. And it's people like Woody and Joy Machines and Dirty River and the different bike clubs that make stuff like this happen. So I don't know, check with your local bike shop, and if nothing's going on, maybe you need to be the person that makes something happen. Sometimes to organize group rides, all it takes is an Instagram post or something on Facebook or the social media of your choice. On a personal note, a number of people came up to me and said they loved the channel. A couple people said that's how they kind of found crews to ride with, whether it be Dirty River or coming out to different events like this. So that is awesome to hear. That is a huge reason why I love doing this. So yeah, show up, have some fun, try something new. If you don't feel like riding the course, hang out, have a good time, make a ride there, hang out for a little while, go get lunch, stop back if you want. You know, it's all good. Anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks as always for watching. Give this video a like. Consider becoming a channel member if you like supporting content like this. I will see you in the next one. Peace.